Could you talk about those who don't have that entrepreneurial spirit, the 9 to 5 people, if they transition to Ghana, like what would that look like for them?
So when I first came, I was used to teaching at various levels of education, from university all the way down to preschool. When I was in Chicago, I had 18 jobs at one time. And that's the first time I found out that Jamaicans are known for that. They're like, what are you, Jamaican? I was like, I didn't even know Jamaicans had a lot of jobs. But I was actually saving up so that I could make my repatriation happen. I wanted to save $40,000 before I repatriated. I ended up going somewhere around 30, and I was like, yo, I'm out, later for it. But yeah, so I was expecting to get a job because I had a colleague in Chicago who was like, oh, a good friend of mine is the president of Ghana Telecom University College, and he can get you a job. That didn't work out. But another thing that I did is I made sure that Abibitumi was set up where I could be teaching Chi, Yoruba, and Wolof online, and that's how I was able to, pay for my PhD, was largely through that, even though eventually, so I repatriated in 2008, and then in 2011 is when I got my first job. That was at African University College of Communications. Imagine if I was waiting for that long to get a job. So you can, if you have that 9 to 5 spirit, you may be waiting a while. But there are other people who they already have a job waiting for them because they know about these multinational corporations, or they come and work at the United States Embassy, or they do. And when people are coming that way, they're literally able to make a U.S. salary here in Ghana, and in doing so, they can live like a millionaire. Like, if you have a 6-figure salary, then you're living like a millionaire, if not a billionaire, in Ghana, because I can buy enough groceries to feed a family of 8. I have a family of 8, and it costs me something along the lines of, let's say, $70, right? For like this is all I'm spending.
And
The last place I rented was 500 Ghana cedis per month. That's the equivalent of something like $30 per month. Now imagine your rent is $30 per month. So you have a higher quality of living, but then you also have a lower cost of living. This means that you don't even need to make whatever you're making in the United States. Like what I make at the University of Ghana as an associate professor is less money-wise than I made coming out of high school with no degree. Less money-wise. But in terms of how far it goes, you understand, I'm able to do a lot more than if I was making that money in the U.S., I would be on food stamps, I'd be on welfare, I wouldn't be able to afford anything because all my money is going to go to rent. What's not going to rent is going to go to groceries. What's not going to rent and groceries is going to go to transportation. At the end of the day, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. And that's what Ghanaians don't understand. They just see the monetary figure like, wow, you're earning $2,000 a month. Wow, I wish I could earn $2,000. Because they're thinking in Ghana terms. Because if you had $2,000 a month in Ghana, you're doing something. But if you're earning $2,000, you better be on welfare because your rent is going to be $1,500. Now figure out what to do with the rest of that $500, right? That's why, I remember when I was in Chicago, there was a Ghanaian sister who was a janitor. And I was like, oh, when's the last time you've been to Ghana? She's like, I can't go to Ghana because when I go to Ghana, people are expecting me to bring flat screen TVs and bring shoes. And I'm supposed to cover, my nieces and nephews' school fees and so forth. She was like, I may never go back to Ghana because she's living like how most people, at least black people I know, they're doing paycheck to paycheck, whatever the dollar, figure is. But this is a currency arbitrage thing, which is encouraging because if you're doing like what you're doing now online, you're doing videos and so forth, the currency arbitrage is that the Ghana cedi is weaker than the dollar. However, you can divest from the United States and you can invest here in Ghana, and then that strong dollar you're bringing is actually you're able to employ a lot of people. You understand? Robbie, who's standing here holding the tablet, he can actually afford like a stand to put the tablet on, right? So no, but seriously, like the people who I'm able to employ right now is like I could never employ anybody in the U.S. I'm an employee in the U.S. with the money like at the amount that I'm making, but here I'm able to not only employ people, I'm able to do a conference, I'm able to do a festival, I'm able to do a lot of things. Look at the structure I'm living in. Look at how many people got jobs just from this construction, people who are the masons, the carpenters, the ones who are doing the windows. Everybody got money, and what I'm doing is I'm actually flipping it on its head. The fact that they're trying to basically stick it to Ghana through the currency, where we're going to even things out because we're going to bring that currency here and we're going to pump it into Ghana's economy.